Listen carefully, because the ritual you are about to discover in this video can release the burden you've been carrying for years and bring you the wealth and abundance you've been waiting for. What if I told you that the secret ingredient to clearing your blockages and opening the doors of your life is something so ordinary, something you already have at home? Now imagine this: you slip on your shoes, go about your day as usual, but hidden inside them is a tiny secret that quietly protects your energy, steadies your mind, and brings a calm you haven't felt in a very long time. It sounds unbelievable, almost like something an old wise grandmother would whisper during a late-night conversation. But this ancient practice is far deeper and far more powerful than it appears. Let me paint a picture for you. You're moving through a crowded place, and out of nowhere you feel irritated, drained, or mentally foggy. And it's not because of your schedule, it's the invisible energies around you. Long before modern chaos, people used a simple household ingredient to protect their inner peace. Not crystals, not incense, just salt. The same ordinary salt waiting quietly in your kitchen. In Buddhist teachings, salt represents purification, not in a dramatic or mystical sense, but in a practical, energetic, deeply human way. And when a small pinch of it sits inside your shoes, it doesn't simply travel with your steps. It absorbs the heaviness you shouldn't be carrying, the emotional dust that clings to you, and the negative energies that try to follow you home. Strange? Yes. But behind this strange ritual lies a wisdom that has survived for centuries, a wisdom that might be exactly what your life needs right now. So before we continue, pause for a moment. Think back to the last time you felt heavy for no reason, when your mind felt cluttered even though your day was ordinary. Think about how much of your stress comes not from what you're doing, but from what you're absorbing without realizing it. This tiny ritual, as simple as it looks, has transformed mornings, calmed restless minds, and brought balance to people who never imagined something so small could create such a shift. If you're new here, welcome to Buddhism Mindset. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and tell me in the comments, do you believe that small habits can create big transformations? Stay with me until the end, because this simple act involving salt may be the quiet, powerful turning point your life has been waiting for. Long before temples were built and scriptures were written, people looked at the world and realized that some elements carried a kind of quiet wisdom. Among them was salt, a substance so ordinary that it hides in every kitchen today, yet so extraordinary that our ancestors treated it with reverence. To them, salt wasn't just something to flavor food, it was a living symbol, a tiny crystal capable of connecting human intention with the unseen fabric of the universe. They believed each grain held a spark of life, a miniature echo of creation itself. That is why, during dawn's first light or under the calm glow of the moon, people would hold salt like a sacred companion, trusting it to help them call in whatever their heart longed for: love, stability, healing, or prosperity. Salt was simplicity fused with power, a humble tool that carried the weight of human hope. Rituals often began at moments of fresh beginnings, the kind of turning points when a person feels ready to leave behind an old version of themselves. Someone might light a small candle, cup salt in their palms, and imagine the life they wish to grow into, not just wishing, but feeling it, seeing it, breathing it, and somehow when the intention was sincere and the heart was steady, something shifted, life responded. Salt became the bridge, subtle, invisible, between thought and existence, between imagining something and watching it unfold in reality. It carried prayers not through words but through vibration, translating quiet desires into the language of the universe. Many believed the true secret was not in asking loudly, but in speaking softly to life, not with desperation but with gratitude, as if the blessing had already arrived. Salt, with its natural purity, amplified this sense of trust. It took in the doubt, the emotional heaviness, the confusion that clouds clarity, and in return, it helped people find direction. Doors opened, relationships healed, work began to flow, homes felt lighter. It wasn't magic in a dramatic sense, it was alignment. And stories of change spread through generations, families finding peace, individuals meeting the right people, businesses rising after long periods of struggle. But the real power of salt wasn't in the outcomes people witnessed. It lived in the state of faith awakened inside them. Salt reminded people of something they often forget in the rush of modern life: that humans are part of nature's energy, not separate from it. When a person holds salt with presence and intention, they are touching an ancient force that responds to belief, clarity, and sincerity. In that moment when thought meets action, when someone chooses to trust, the unseen begins to move. For this reason, many traditions call salt a mirror of truth. It doesn't create anything on its own. It reflects what already exists within the person who uses it. If there is peace inside, it strengthens peace. If there is love, it expands love. If there is faith, it multiplies faith. And if someone carries fear or emotional heaviness, salt absorbs it quietly and restores balance. That is why, across cultures and centuries, salt remains one of the most cherished tools of cleansing and manifestation. It communicates a universal message: purity of intention, trust in the process, and the courage to believe. Salt doesn't speak, shine, or demand attention. It simply absorbs what is heavy, restores what is light, and reminds us that even the smallest things can hold the greatest power. Since the earliest civilizations, salt has been treated as more than a seasoning. It was seen as a guardian. People believed it could filter the unseen, cleanse heavy spaces, and block the subtle energies that come from envy, resentment, or the harsh words people speak behind our backs. In a universe where everything vibrates, thoughts, emotions, intentions, negativity doesn't just disappear. It moves like a quiet wave, searching for a place to land. And when our own energy is tired or unbalanced, those vibrations can cling to us, creating irritation, sadness, or an unexplainable heaviness. Salt steps in like a natural shield, absorbing what isn't ours and restoring the harmony we often don't realize we've lost. That is why so many households, even today, place a glass of salt water behind the door or keep a small portion under the bed. Without any ritual words or dramatic gestures, the atmosphere shifts. The room feels clearer, sleep becomes deeper, arguments soften, and the home breathes again. Salt works by pulling density out of the environment and dissolving it into neutrality, as if declaring, "This energy is not welcome here." The same principle is what makes the salt in the shoes practice so powerful. With each step you take, you're carrying an invisible layer of protection under your feet, blocking the subtle negativity that tries to follow you from one place to another. But protection is only one side of salt's nature. Salt doesn't simply absorb what's heavy, it transforms it. Everything it collects is returned to the earth in a balanced state, which is why renewing the salt is essential. Throwing away the old salt isn't just cleaning, it's an energetic reset. Each time you replace it, you release what was taken from your field and invite a fresh, clean vibration. Over time, people who follow this ritual with sincerity begin noticing quiet but powerful changes. Draining people drift away. Stressful environments lose their grip and emotional balance becomes easier to maintain. This isn't luck. It's your energy field strengthening and vibrating at a calmer, brighter frequency. Salt doesn't build walls around you. It creates illumination. Darkness cannot cling to what is light, being born from the union of sun and sea. Salt crystals carry a kind of elemental balance, pure, steady, and unbroken by time. That's why many believe salt holds a natural harmony between earth, fire, and water. When used consciously, it becomes a conductor between human intention and universal creation. Each grain functions like a quiet antenna, absorbing what is dense, amplifying what is gentle, and redistributing energy into alignment. In this way, salt becomes not just a mineral, but a bridge between your inner world and the greater force guiding all life. When you place salt in your shoes, in your home, or even between your hands, you're not just handling a mineral, you're shifting the architecture of your energy field. It's like your whole being quietly declares, "I'm ready to let go of what weighs me down and welcome what aligns with my true vibration." But the real force doesn't lie in the salt itself. It lies in the intention you breathe into it. Held without belief, it's just another grain of mineral. But held with clarity, faith, and sincerity, it becomes a channel for your desires. In that union between your mind and the salt, your thoughts begin to move, your energy begins to organize, and your intentions start taking form in the physical world. That's why every ritual, no matter how small, begins with a pause, a conscious breath, a moment of honesty with yourself. What do you want to invite into your life? Prosperity, peace, healing, love. The instant you name your desire, a light turns on inside you, and salt works as a reflective surface for that light. It takes your belief, mirrors it, and sends it back into your reality as chances, encounters, ideas, and synchronicities that seem almost impossible to explain. Used with awareness, salt becomes a reminder that the universe responds not to fear or confusion, but to clear signals. And the lighter your vibration becomes, the more easily you draw in the experiences your soul has been waiting for. Placing salt in your shoes might appear like a simple habit, but spiritually, it carries a depth many overlook. The moment those tiny crystals touch the soles of your feet, they form an unseen link between you and the energy of the earth. With every step, your body communicates with the universe in silent vibrations. Ancient traditions believe that the feet are gateways. Whatever enters or leaves our energy field often does so through them. Salt, with its crystalline purity, acts like a gentle filter. It absorbs the heaviness you shouldn't be carrying, dissolves stagnant energy, and opens space for new frequencies to reach you. Walking becomes more than movement. It becomes a moving prayer, a subtle affirmation. I am ready to receive. As the salt warms with your body heat and meets the moisture of your skin, it begins to conduct a natural energetic current. This creates a quiet vibration that links your inner intention to the wider energetic field around you. It's a subtle yet powerful bridge, one that grounds your desires into the earth while lifting your energy into alignment with what you seek. Through this simple act, your steps stop being routine and become expressions of manifestation, each one sending a ripple outward, shaping your path in ways you can feel but not always explain. When you place salt in your shoes with intention, you're not just preparing to walk, you're sending a quiet message to the universe. Salt responds to clarity and faith, helping dissolve internal heaviness and opening space for unexpected solutions, encounters, and shifts in energy. Its power is silent but precise, activated the moment your intention becomes clear. Before putting on your shoes, pause. Hold the salt in your hands, breathe deeply, and visualize what you want to attract: prosperity, peace, harmony, or courage. Imagine each grain absorbing your purpose like tiny crystals of light. When you place the salt in your shoes, it becomes a container for your intention, turning every step into a movement toward manifestation. As you walk, trust the process. You may not feel the crystals, but you will feel their effect: lightness, clarity, or a sudden sense of ease in the days that follow. This ritual isn't superstition, it's presence. Done with heart, even a simple gesture can shift your vibration and reopen blocked paths. So whenever life feels stagnant, place the salt with faith and walk forward lightly, because life always responds to those who dare to believe. When the ritual ends, the silence that follows is part of the transformation. The salt has already fulfilled its purpose, absorbing, purifying, and reorganizing what needed to shift. In that quiet moment, remove your shoes slowly, sit down, and give thanks not only for what you hope to receive, but also for what has been released. Gratitude is the language that closes energetic cycles and gives shape to the invisible. The salt that touched your feet should be discarded with respect. It is no longer just an ingredient, but a carrier of intention and purification. Ideally, return it to the earth, bury it in soil, a garden corner, or a pot, as if planting a seed. This act symbolizes surrendering the old energy back to nature for transformation. If burial isn't possible, wrap the salt in paper and throw it away while visualizing it dissolving and returning to light. Next, cleanse your feet not only for hygiene, but to complete the energetic cycle. Wash them with warm water, and if you wish to intensify the effect, add coarse salt or a few drops of lavender. As the water flows, imagine it washing away any lingering residue. Feel the growing lightness. This cleansing marks the final point of the ritual and the beginning of a new vibrational phase. Afterwards, stay in silence for a few minutes. Breathe consciously, observe your body, and notice how your mind begins to settle. Some people feel calm, others feel relieved, and sometimes an unexpected emotion rises. These are signs that the energy has shifted. To seal the process, close your eyes and repeat mentally: I have released what was needed. I am open to the new. This intention acts like an energetic seal, anchoring clarity and opening the path for what is meant to come. Then move through your day lightly, trusting the flow. Observe the signs, the gentle shifts, the soft movements in your day, the small opportunities that begin to appear almost quietly. These are not coincidences, they are responses from the universe. After the ritual, when the salt has done its work and the energy begins to move, the universe rarely answers with noise or drama. Instead, its first reply is silence. A different kind of calm settles in your chest. The thoughts that used to run uncontrollably start to slow down. Anxiety loosens its grip, the mind begins to breathe again. This unusual serenity is not random. It is the first confirmation that your vibration has risen, your energy field has been cleansed, and now it is ready to attract what you asked for. This inner stillness is the doorway through which the next signs will arrive. As the days go by, you begin noticing synchronicities, those small, perfect alignments that almost feel like someone carefully placing events in front of you. A person appears just when you need to hear something. A message arrives at the exact right moment. A forgotten opportunity opens up again. Old problems you carried for years suddenly resolve with unexpected ease. People who drained you drift away naturally, as if guided by an invisible hand. Situations that were stuck begin to move, and the heaviness that once surrounded your daily life slowly dissolves. None of this is an accident. It is the energy you cleansed now flowing freely, reorganizing the external world to match what has transformed within you. The ritual didn't force anything, it simply opened a path for life to rearrange itself around your new vibration. Another unmistakable sign is the physical response of the body. Your feet feel lighter when you walk, as though the tiredness that used to cling to you has finally released. Sleep becomes easier, deeper, more peaceful. Your mood stabilizes without effort, and your body feels as if something heavy has been lifted from it, something you didn't even realize you were carrying. This happens because walking with salt sends a message of safety and grounding to your entire system. Salt absorbs what weighs you down, and your body reacts with relief. And as the body relaxes, the mind becomes clearer. Inspiration returns. Ideas that were buried under stress rise to the surface. Projects that were frozen begin to move. Decisions that were confusing become simple. This is the expansion of your energetic field, the invisible force reorganizing itself to put you back on the path that truly belongs to you. And then comes the most profound sign of all, spontaneous gratitude. A soft, unexplainable joy begins blooming inside you. You find yourself grateful for small things, a moment of quiet, a smile, the warmth of sunlight, your own breath. This gratitude comes without reason, without force. It appears naturally, like a flower opening at dawn. When this feeling arrives, it means the ritual has reached its deepest point. Because abundance is not just what enters your life. Abundance is a state of being, a vibration that tells the universe, I am ready. And when you reach that vibration, when your heart opens, when your field expands, when your trust becomes stronger than your fear, everything that is meant for you begins to find you effortlessly. It comes step by step, moment by moment, in perfect timing, just as the salt quietly taught through its gentle and powerful presence. If you've stayed with me until this final moment, understand something deeply. You've already crossed the most important threshold. Awareness salt, in all its purity, is not a magical charm or a shortcut to miracles. It acts like a spiritual mirror, reflecting your readiness to shift what has long been waiting to change. The very act of choosing to perform this ritual is a declaration to the universe. I trust what my eyes cannot see. I believe in the unseen forces that shape my path. And it is this quiet faith, not noise, not desperation, that moves energies, clears obstacles, and brings life back into flow. Many people search endlessly for answers in distant places, forgetting that real transformation often lives in the smallest gestures. A pinch of salt held with intention, a single conscious breath, a thought that rises from a place of purity rather than fear. True magic doesn't announce itself with thunder. It works silently, gracefully, consistently. The salt ritual is a reminder of this ancient truth. The power to change your vibration has always been right in your hands, waiting only for your willingness to awaken it. From this moment forward, remain attentive. Notice the little shifts, the calm you feel, the unexpected opportunities, the coincidences that begin to line up with uncanny precision. None of these are random. The energy is already moving, the pathway already opened. Continue walking with trust, but without haste. The universe does not follow the clock, it follows alignment. When your soul is truly ready, what you desire arrives almost effortlessly. The salt has already shown you how to release the weight you carried and how to walk lightly. This is the state where abundance enters, softly, quietly, consistently. And remember this, every time you repeat this ritual, you are not simply placing salt in your shoe or in your home. You are strengthening your connection with the creative force that governs everything. You are renewing your field. You are purifying your intention. And the more aligned your heart becomes, the more gracefully life responds, with signs, synchronicities, clarity, and serenity. The salt is not the end, it is the doorway into deeper self-understanding and unwavering faith. So before you close this video, pause for a moment. Offer gratitude, not only for what has appeared in your life, but for what is already on its way. If this message reached your heart, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to remember that the greatest changes often begin with the smallest actions. Until next insight, walk with faith, walk with love. and walk with the certainty that the universe always listens to a heart that is truly at peace. I'll see you in the next video.